The crazy coach rocks on its great leather strings. The mountains seem to come nearer to us on either side. Coachman! Coachman! What is it? Where are we?
You're nearing your destination, young hare. This is the Borga Pass.
There were black, rolling clouds overhead, and in the air the heavy, oppressive sense of thunder. Now, we were through the pass.
The young hare is not expected after all.
You are early tonight, my friend.
A caleche with 4 horses had drawn up beside us.
Let me help you, sir.
The coachman smiled, and the lamplight fell on a hard-looking mouth with very red lips and sharp-looking teeth, as white as ivory. We began to move. I looked back. The coach and its load of passengers had vanished from sight. We swept into the darkness of the pass. I struck a match. It was within a few minutes of midnight. And then a dog began to howl somewhere far down the road. The wind was rising. It moaned and whistled through the rocks, and the branches of the trees clashed together as we swept along. It grew colder and colder still, and fine powdery snow began to fall. The baying of wolves sounded nearer and nearer, as though they were closing round us from every side. We kept on ascending, always ascending. The howling of wolves was growing less. Presently, it ceased altogether. And just then, the moon broke through the black clouds, and by its light I saw around us a ring of wolves running alongside the carriage, in silence, with white teeth and lolling red tongues, with long sinewy limbs and shaggy hair.
Welcome to my house.
I must have fallen asleep. The carriage had pulled up in the courtyard of a vast ruined castle. The coachman was nowhere to be seen.
Welcome to my house. Come freely, go safely, and leave something of the happiness you bring.
Count Dracula?
I am Dracula.
Halloween approaches. The night when the boundaries between the living and the dead, reality and imagination dissolve. Evil witches mount flying brooms. Brains starved zombies. Restless spirits. Supernatural spooks. Savage monsters and all forms of malevolent miscreants shamble across the earth, creating terror among the hapless and tasty human populace. Above all, Halloween is the best time for scary stories. In that tradition, welcome to When Radio Ruled, Episode 56, Spooky Halloween Special 2022. This show is going to give you a couple of spine tinglers to get you in the spooky Halloween frame of mind. The first one is entitled Til Dead and was originally broadcast February 2, 1943. It is a great example of the suspense genre that was so successful throughout the era of old-time radio. The second story is called The Hitchhiker and stars Orson Welles. It's a classic supernatural tale, full of tension and mystery. It was performed by Welles multiple times over the years by popular demand. This performance was broadcast September 2, 1942. So, hang the garlic in the door to keep away the vampires. Put a crucifix in your pocket just in case. Lock the doors and windows. Shut out the lights and brace yourself for When Radio Ruled Spooky Halloween Special 2022.
Ironized Yeast presents Lights Out, Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the terrors of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Oboler. He walks the earth, the little man. You look at him and say, what can he do? But then comes war and barbarism threatens his own home, and suddenly the little man towers over the earth, a figure of vengeance. This, too, tonight is a story of vengeance. But before we begin, Bob Stevenson wants to ask you a question.
Does day's end find you so worn out and all in that you can't enjoy the evening? Are you so jittery and underweight and under par that you're losing out in your work and in your fun? Well, maybe you simply need more vitamin B and iron than you're getting from your food. And if so, try ironized yeast tablets. These amazing little tablets are a two-way tonic. They give you both vitamin B and iron. They've been of truly remarkable help to thousands who simply needed more of these substances. Help these weak, weary folks gain glorious new pep and strength. And 5, 10, even more pounds of good new flesh, often in just a few weeks. Remember the name, ironized yeast tablets. And now,
Lights out, everybody.
You've got 10 minutes with him, Counselor.
I know. Well, Rogan, I understand you wanted to see me.
Sit down, Counselor.
I'm very busy, you understand?
Sit down.
Yes. What's on your mind? There's always a chance, you know. The jury's been out 3 hours.
The devil with the jury. Get me a knife.
Huh?
Get me a knife.
A knife? Are you insane?
A knife. Get me one.
But why? You've got a chance. My final summation, the jury, my deadlock. Yes, deadlock.
Shut up and listen to me.
Well?
When the jury comes in, he'll be there, sure.
He?
Mark Street.
Oh, him.
You still don't believe.
Oh, but I do. I definitely believe that an individual by that name does exist.
Exist? He killed my wife.
But the evidence...
He killed my wife, you hear me? He killed my wife.
Yes, I know.
No, you listen to me. You listen or I'll make you listen. For days you've been out there in that courtroom talking words. Words, high-sounding legal words. All the time you ain't believed a word I told you. All the time back of that mug of yours, you've been thinking, yeah, he killed her. I killed her. Swellest thing that ever came into a man's life.
Now, Mac, I want you to
Let
know
me get
that...
it out of me. Marie was my wife. She was helping me and loving me. Guy come along who couldn't stand up being happy. He took a look at Marie, and in that rat mind, he must have said to himself, okay, beautiful, I'm going to get you. How and when, I don't know, but someday, beautiful, someday. That's what he said. And that's what he did.
What?
One night he came over. Sure, he got to be my friend. He came over, and when Marie told him I was working late down at the plant, he said he'd wait for me. Business. Business of hell.
What?
Oh, how can I tell you? I can only think it in my head and remember it in my head. I hear her, don't you? Fighting against him, fighting.
I don't hear anything.
Fighting. She must have clawed at his eyes. And that knife in his hand. He stabbed her once. And again, and the third time. When I got home, she had strength to whisper just 2 words to me. His name. And then she was dead. And he killed her. He'd frame me so I'd take the rat, me that loved her, Mark Street. He did it. You hear me, Mark Street?
But no trace of the man...
He'll come back, I tell you. He'll come back now to hear that jury speak its piece. He'll come back, I know he will. That'll be my chance to get him. Get me that knife.
But, Mac,
A knife, I've got to have it. He'll be there. I can give it to him once, twice, 3 times the way he did to her in his face and his neck and his dirty heart. Dead the way she's dead, his blood wiping out what he did to her. A knife. Get me a knife. You got it.
Well, Mac, everything's going to be all right.
The knife, where is it?
You certainly didn't think I'd really... Well, I mean a man in my
You
position.
didn't bring it?
Be sensible, Mac. How could I? Your wild story about revenge against a man nobody knows...
Double-crossing.
Mac, jury's coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached the verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
You will read the verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant is charged in the indictment guilty of murder in the first degree.
Prisoner will rise and face the court.
He's talking to you, Mac.
What?
The prisoner will rise.
The judge, get up, Rogan.
Mark Street. You're here. I know it.
Mac, Rogan, have you anything to say before sentence is passed upon you?
I see him.
Rogan, what's the matter?
Mark Street, he's here. Here. Mark Street, you're here. I see you. I'll get you now.
Get him from my
Oh, he's here. Mark Street, I've got to get him and kill him. He framed me. He killed him. Let me go. No, let go of me. You can't let him get away. He's here. I saw him. Mark Street, listen to me. I'll get you. I tell you, I'll get you like you got her. 3 times. Once across your face and once through the neck. Once through your heart. I'll get you, Mark Street. I swear I'll get you. I'm asking you as a particular favor to me, Rogan, to behave yourself. Yeah. Now, every man in this cell block is a condemned man. Disturbances just make it harder for everyone concerned. I ain't gonna be with you long, Warden. There's 2 weeks yet, my boy. I'm not going out that way. Oh. Escape, eh? I'm just telling you not to count too much on springing that trap. Don't try it, Rogan. No man's ever escaped from the death house in this penitentiary. And no man ever will. Yeah. Well, this is it, Rogan.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, hello, Rico. Oh, guard, open the cell door. In here, Rogan.
What's the matter, Warden? Your hotel getting crowded, so you got to give me a roommate?
Now behave yourselves, men. I don't want any trouble.
Sure, Warden. We don't make any trouble.
I hope not. See you later.
Warden's like a school teacher. Huh, Rogan?
How do you know my name?
Yeah, there ain't much going on around here Rico Bartelli don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
How do you get out of here?
Well, there's 2 ways. One through that door where you just came in with the warden, and the other through that green door down there at the other end. That's a funny door. It only opens up one way.
You're not gonna hang me.
A lot of guys say that, but they feed the worms just the same.
I'm getting out of here.
Hell, it's easy just to talk.
I gotta get out.
Why?
To kill.
You crazy? Well, never mind. To me, it don't make no difference just so long as you help me. I told you Rico Bartelli knows lots of things. Well, listen to this. I know a way to crack this place.
You're just talking.
A guy in my spot don't just talk, my friend. Me, I ain't got time for talk.
Yeah?
They think they're gonna hang me 3 days from now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why when I say something, I mean it. For you, too. If you got the guts.
I'm listening.
Look, every day, 4 o'clock, they'll let me and you out in the room down there that they call an exercise room. We're supposed to walk up and down and get exercise so we'll feel good when they stretch our neck. Only you and me in the exercise room for 10 minutes. No guards. They figure it's all right, because the room ain't got nothing in it, no window. And the guard locks it up from the outside.
And how do you expect...
I'm trying to tell you. In the room, there's nothing. Bare walls. Bare floor. And in the floor, there's one iron saw lead leading down to the saw that runs into this place to the river.
Marie?
Sure. You do like I say, and Marie will see you pretty quick.
This water, how deep is it?
Well,
No. It doesn't make any difference. I can swim in it.
Yeah, not in this water, my friend.
Why not? How far is it from where we can get in the sewer to the river?
A mile.
I can swim a dozen miles.
Not in this water.
Why not? Tell me why not.
Hey, you guys, pipe down.
Okay, screw. We're going to sleep.
Tell me, why not?
Because, my friend, after the pipe that's under the exercise room goes a little way, it joins the main pipe.
Well?
And on the main saw, there's no room for swimming. The pipe's filled to the top with water.
I'll swim it anyway.
And breathe what? The water?
I gotta get out.
Sure, you've said that before. But you ain't going to get out if you don't listen to Rico. I tell you, the water in the sewer is up to the top. Maybe half or 1 inch clear air up on top. Not enough to swim, my friend. But just enough to get air if you got the right thing.
What? A diving rig?
Nah. A little piece of rubber pipe that you keep in your mouth. And you stick it up out of the water so you're sucking the air while you walk through the water. That's over your head.
Where do you get the rubber hose?
Here. See? I got one right here. And I got another one for you. This end stuck in my mouth. Listen, I raise it high like this. So it sticks up out of the water, and I suck up that little inch of air that's waiting up there on top.
Mark Street, I'll be coming for you soon.
Rock Street, what's that? All I want to know is you're going to break with me down the sewer tomorrow.
Man, you don't know what you're doing for me.
Shut your mouth. I do it because I can't lift a heavy sewer lid by myself. But with you, we'll lift it.
We'll lift it.
Okay. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, we try, huh?
4 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, a deep breath, please, before we go on with this story of vengeance and MacRogan. Yes, and while we do so, girls, is this how you feel these strenuous war days?
No, I'm not going to dance with the soldiers. I'm too tired out to enjoy it. And since I've gotten so thin and run down and on edge, nobody wants to dance with me anyway. Well, you don't look so good lately. But listen, you know Sally Blake? Well, she was underweight and weary and jumpy, too. And she found out that all she needed was more vitamin B and iron. Vitamin B and iron? I don't understand.
Let me explain, miss. When you don't get enough vitamin B from your food, you may lose your appetite, so you don't eat enough. And then you may lose weight and lose your pep. Or you may not get all the good out of your food. And when you don't get enough iron from what you eat, you may be weak and pale and washed out.
Oh, dear. If more vitamin B and iron is what I need, I suppose I've got to take some disagreeable medicine.
Sally didn't. She took ironized yeast tablets. She says they're a cinch to take. Just pleasant little tablets. And you should see Sally now. She feels so peppy, and she looks like a million.
That's easily explained, too. Ironized yeast gives you vitamin B plus iron. So when you need them, it helps 2 ways to step up your weight and pep and sparkle. Try ironized yeast if more vitamin B and iron is what you need. Then see if pretty quick you aren't saying,
Well, I feel grand now. And since I've gained these nice pounds, I guess I look good, too. That handsome sergeant's always phoning me lately. Ironized yeast sure is wonderful.
And now, back to Lights Out. This is the day and the time for the 2 condemned men to make their try for freedom.
Get plenty of exercise, boys. Won't be long now.
Sure, screw. Well exercised.
Frico. The floor, there's no sewer lid in it.
What, do you think they got a label on it or something?
Quit talking. We gotta move fast. Show me for the leatherhead.
Okay. Keep your pants on. Yeah. You see this circle on the floor?
Yeah.
That's a lid. It's covered with cement just like the floor.
Mother in heaven, all that weight. How we lift it out?
Keep quiet. Yeah. I got something that'll do the work.
A cold chisel.
I
Where did you...
told you Rico Bartelli's a smart guy. This little piece of steel cost me plenty. But I got her, and she's going to get me right out of here. Now, listen.
Yeah.
Look. I stick the chisel in the crack. I push up. The cover, it comes up a little bit. And you stick your fingers underneath.
Okay.
I got it. There. Now, get your fingers under.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, lift. Lift.
That lid, you're crushing my fingers.
Oh, don't make noise. God, don't make any
My
noise.
fingers, mother of mercy, my
Quiet.
fingers. Get that lid off me.
I'll get it up again. Don't yell out. For God, all of you. The guy on the roof. Get the lid up. There. There. I got it. Now, help me. I've got it up again. Help me lift it.
Yeah. Oh.
There it comes. There we go. Let it down. Broke your fingers, huh?
The devil with my fingers. Let's go.
Okay. You drop down there first. I don't know how deep the water is.
Here goes.
Logan. Is it all right down there?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. Water's not so deep.
It's only up to my waist. Which way now?
This way. Come on.
So blasted dark.
I know the way. Yeah. The pigs.
Faster. Lead the way
I
faster.
can't go too fast. Main sewer is someplace along here. I might fall in.
Okay.
Well, yes, stinks.
Keep going, keep going.
It's black. I can't see nothing. I'll make a run.
Shut up.
What?
Shut up. The water, don't you feel? It's moving faster.
Yeah, you're right. That means the main sewer's up ahead.
Come on.
Don't get so excited.
Why shouldn't I? The main pipe's ahead.
Yeah, the main pipe's ahead.
That means we're going right. Oh, I'm not afraid of drowning, and I can't drown. I've got to kill him first. I can't drown.
Oh.
Ah, it doesn't matter to you. Come on. Wait a minute. Give me my piece of rubber hose first.
Rubber hose?
Yeah, sure, like you told me to breathe through in the main sewer. Give it to me now in case the water separates us.
Give you what?
What's the matter with you?
Me?
Tell me what's up.
Sure. Sure, why not? I only got one piece of rubber hose.
But, Rico, you said...
What I say and what is, that's two different things. I got one. For me.
And me?
You. You help me lift up that solid. Okay, that's swell. Now, if you want to go out and knock off that guy you always talk about, okay, I ain't stopping you. Take a swim for yourself.
Give me that piece of hose.
You better take that swim while you're still healthy, my friend.
Give me that hose.
Stay back from me.
Give it to me.
Okay, I'll give you.
Oh, my arm. Oh, chisel, try to knife me, you idiot.
Hey, get out. You.
Devil, I got you now.
Oh, my arm.
Yes, your arm, Rico. Bending it to make you bend over. Bend over, Rico, over. Get that head of yours under the water.
No.
Drink it, Rico. Fill your double-crossing lungs with it. Drink. All right, Rico. I've got the chisel and the hose. Now you take that swim that you were gonna give me. Now, Mark Street, I'm coming after you.
Hey, now, bud, shut the door. We're closed, see? Might as well scram. 1 o'clock's closing hours in this town.
Help me.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Mark Street.
Huh? What's that you said?
Mark Street. Where is he?
Mark Street? Oh, you mean that lanky chiseler that... I didn't know exactly. I ain't seen the guy recent.
Where is he?
Hennessy's place. Yeah, that's it. I remember hearing a couple of the boys saying he moved in up there. Say, wait a minute, fella. Don't you want a drink? Don't you want me to get... Well, is that a note? Walks right out on me. I wonder what in the... Gee, ain't that a funny thing? It ain't rained around here for a week. And the guy's clothes were soaking wet.
All right, I'm coming. Waking a man up in the middle of the night, that's disturbing the peace. Well, what's the matter?
Tell me.
Tell you what? What's the matter, you drunk? What do you want?
Mark Street.
Mark Street? Is that what you said?
They told me. He's staying here.
He was staying here, you mean?
He's gone?
That's all right. He's gone.
Tell me. Where? Where is he now?
He's down 6 feet in the Rosamont Cemetery. Mark Street. He's died last week. Good night.
Mark Street died last week. No. No, Mark Street, you can't cheat me that way. Rosemont Cemetery said All right, Mark Street. I'm coming out to you. Here lies John Burton. Oh, no. It's so dark. So dark, if only the moon would... Ah, now I can see. Here lies my beloved wife. No, not you. Mark Street, where are you? Where? So many graves, white stones, moonlight, so many dead. If you are here, I'll find you. Here lie the mortal remains of Henry Olm. Oh, no. Oh, I've got to find you, Mark Street. I've got to. Maybe this one. Here lies Mark Street. I found you, Mark Street. I found you. All is dead. I found you. But are you dead? I must know. I will 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 know. I will. I will know. I will know. I will know. I will. The coffin. The coffin. Oh, I'm down to you at last, Mark Street. Now I'll know. Oh, they've covered you well. If it is you. Yes. It is you, Mark Street. Cheated me. Oh, no. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe maybe in another world beyond this one. A world of dead. Where you are now. I'll go there. I'll go there. I'll get you there. Rico's cold chisel in my hand. I'll shove it in my heart, and then I'll be just like you. You hear me, Mark Street? It's Mac. Mac Rogan talking to you wherever you are. I'm coming to you.
Mac Rogan.
Mark Street, I'm coming to you.
Mac Rogan.
Marie.
Mac.
Marie, I heard... How? When? I don't know. I heard you calling me.
Mac Rogan.
It is you, Marie. I heard you. I can hardly see. I don't know where I am, but I heard you.
You got your wish, my darling.
What?
Look, there in front of you.
Mark Street. Mark Street at last.
No, let me go. The dead can't kill the dead. Let me go.
And the knife. The knife you killed her with is in my hand. The knife. At last, Mark Street, I'll give you what you gave her.
No.
Once in the face.
No.
Twice. A third time. Now, go back to your grave, Mark Street. And I'll go to mine.
Mr. Obler, do you really think that revenge can go beyond the grave?
I like to think that it doesn't. I'd like to think that murder and mercy find equal rest in peaceful death.
Well, I'm interested in next week's story. You go back to California to do that one. What's it going to be about?
It's a long postponed tale. I started to do it 3 times in this program, and each time something happened. I'll tell you of those postponements in a moment, after you finish what you want to tell us.
Well, briefly, folks, if it's vitamin B and iron shortage that's keeping you thin and weak, tired, washed out, and really only half living, then do try ironized yeast tablets right away. They give you both vitamin B and iron. They cost but a few pennies a day, and they're sold on this no-risk, money-back basis. If you don't quickly begin to eat better, sleep better, feel much stronger and peppier, And if you are not convinced that ironized yeast will help you gain just the good pounds you need to look your best, the cost of the first bottle will be refunded to you in full by ironized yeast, Box IY, Rahway, New Jersey. Just be sure you get the one and only ironized yeast. Always ask for it by its full name, ironized yeast, and look for the big IY on the package and on each tablet. And now, what about this postponed story, Mr. Obler?
Well, we all start things we don't finish. Now, before I started a word and stuttered and didn't finish it. And that reminds me of something that you folks may not have finished. I'm referring to your war stamp book. Don't say what again and turn that dial. You know that boy who used to live up the street from you who's in that flying fortress? He can't turn any dials and get out of there when the shrapnel gets close. He's got to keep on. And so how about you and that war stamp book? How long since you put another stamp in it? Remember, 4 25-cent stamps will buy a hand grenade. 15 50-cent stamps buy an anti-tank mine. 6 25-cent stamps a winter combat helmet. Yes, your money in war stamps can actually save the life of an American soldier. Here's another way to look at it. War stamps earn no interest. War bonds, on the other hand, do. They pay you back $4 for every 3. So looking at it either way as a dollar investment for your future, or better yet, an investment in a free world, you'd better put those spared dimes and quarters to work against the Axis for victory and for you. In the future, well, it'll mean a future of a free world.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in next Tuesday again for Arch Obler's eerie story, He Dug It Up, a strange tale inspired by a visit to pre-war England. And if you need more vitamin B and iron, be sure to try ironized yeast, the one and only ironized yeast with the big letters IY on the package and on each tablet. It is later than you think.
Time waits for no man these days, not even for a man to shave. Speed is mighty important. So why not enjoy the quick, comfortable shaves that you get with Mole brushless shaving cream? A quick yet comfortable shave. Quick because you can spread Mole over your face as fast as you can move your fingertips. Quick because Mole forms a protective film between your skin and your razor. Gives your razor something to ride on. Thus your razor just seems to skate over your skin, but your whiskers come off close and clean. Comfortable because Mole's protective film helps guard you from nicks and cuts. So why not try Mole today?
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Columbia Network takes pleasure in bringing you Suspense. Suspense, Columbia's parade of outstanding thrillers, produced and directed by William Spear and scored by Bernard Herrmann. The notable melodramas from stage and screen, fiction and radio, presented each week to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles. And very happy I am to be back in the United States and back on the Columbia Network, even for so short a visit as this one. Back with old friends like Johnny Dietz, who is tonight's director, and Bernard Herrmann. The Mercury Theater presented tonight's radio play for the first time last year. We came right out then and hailed it as a classic of the medium. Nobody argued the point. A lot of people asked us to do it again, so it's gratifying to get the chance now and to find a favorite of ours in this distinguished anthology of spook shows. Personally, I've never met anybody who didn't like a good ghost story. But I know a lot of people who think there are a lot of people who don't like a good ghost story. For the benefit of these, at least, I go on record at the outset of this evening's entertainment with the sober assurance that although blood may be curdled on this program, none will be spilt. There's no shooting, knifing, throttling, axing, or poisoning here. No clanking chains, no cobwebs, no bony and/or hairy hands appearing from secret panels, or, better yet, bedroom curtains. If it's any part of that dear old phosphorescent foolishness that people who don't like ghost stories don't like, then again, I promise you, we haven't got it. Not tonight. What we do have is a thriller. It's half as good as we think it is. You can call it a shocker. It's already been called a real Orson Welles story. Now, frankly, I don't know what this means. I've been on the air directing and acting in my own shows for quite a while now, and I don't suppose I've done more than half a dozen thrillers in all that time. Honestly, I don't think even that many, but it seems I do have a reputation for the uncanny. Quite possibly, a little escapade of mine involving a couple of planets, which shall be nameless, is responsible. Doesn't really matter. Don't think I disapprove of thrillers. I don't. A story doesn't have to appeal to the heart. It can also appeal to the spine. Sometimes you want your heart to be warmed, and sometimes you want your spine to tingle. The tingling, it's to be hoped, will be quite audible as you listen tonight to The Hitchhiker. That's the name of our story, The Hitchhiker. I'm in an auto camp on Route 66, just west of Gallup, New Mexico. If I tell it, perhaps it'll help me. Keep me from going crazy. I gotta tell this quickly. I'm not crazy now. I feel perfectly well, except that I'm running a slight temperature. My name is Ronald Adams. I'm 36 years of age, unmarried, tall, dark, with a black mustache. I drive a 1940 Buick, license number 6Y175189. I was born in Brooklyn. All this I know. I know that I'm at this moment perfectly sane. That it's not me who's gone mad. Something else. Something utterly beyond my control. I'll just speak quickly. At any minute, the link may break. This may be the last thing I ever tell on Earth. The last night I ever see the stars. 6 days ago, I left Brooklyn to drive to California.
Goodbye, son. Good luck to you, my boy.
Goodbye, Mother. Here, give me a kiss, and I'll go.
I'll come out with you to the car.
Oh, no, it's raining. Stay here at the door. Hey, what's this? Tears? I thought you'd promised me you wouldn't cry.
I know, dear. I'm sorry. But I do hate to see you go.
I'll be back. It'll only be on the coast 3 months.
Oh, it isn't that. It's just the trip. Ronald, I wish you weren't driving.
Oh, Mother, there you go again. People do it every day.
I know, but you'll be careful, won't you? Promise me you'll be extra careful. Don't fall asleep, or drive fast, or pick up any strangers on the road.
Oh, gosh. I think I was still 17 here, you tell.
Oh. And wire me as soon as you get to Hollywood. Won't you, son?
Of course I will. Don't you worry. There's nothing going to happen. It's just 8 days of perfectly simple driving on smooth, decent, civilized roads with a hot dog or a hamburger stand every 10 miles. I was in fine spirits. The drive ahead of me, even the loneliness, seemed like a lark. I reckoned without him. Crossing Brooklyn Bridge that morning in the rain, I saw a man leaning against the cables. He seemed to be waiting for a lift. There were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. He was carrying a cheap overnight bag in one hand. He was thin, nondescript, with a cap pulled down over his eyes. I would have forgotten him completely, except that just an hour later, while crossing the Pulaski Skyway over the Jersey Flats, I saw him again. At least, he looked like the same person. He was standing now with one thumb pointing west. I couldn't figure out how he got there, but I thought probably one of those fast trucks had picked him up, beaten me to the Skyway, and let him off. I didn't stop for him. Then late that night, I saw him again. It's on the new Pennsylvania Turnpike between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. It's 265 miles long with a very high speed limit. I was just slowing down for one of the tunnels when I saw him standing under an arc light by the side of the road. I'd seen quite distinctly the bag, the cap, even the spots of fresh rain scattered over his shoulders. He hallooed at me this time. Hello! Hello! I stepped on the gas like a shot. That's lonely country through the Alleghenies, and I had no intention of stopping. Besides, the coincidences, or whatever it was, gave me the willies. I stopped at the next gas station.
Yes, sir.
Fill her up.
Certainly, sir. Check your oil, sir?
No, thanks.
Nice night, isn't it?
Yes. It hasn't been raining here recently, has it?
Not a drop of rain all week.
Oh? Oh, I suppose that hasn't done your business any harm.
Oh, people drive through here all kinds of weather. Mostly business, you know. There aren't many pleasure cars out on the turnpike this season of the year.
I suppose not. What about hitchhikers?
Hitchhikers here?
What's the matter? Don't you ever see any?
Not much. If we did, it'd be a sight for sore eyes.
Why?
Oh, guy'd be a fool who started out to hitch rides on this road. Look at it.
Then, you've never seen anybody?
Nope. Maybe they get the lift before the turnpike starts. I mean, you know, just before the toll house. But then it'd be a mighty long ride. Most cars wouldn't want to pick up a guy for that long a ride. And you know, this is pretty lonesome country here. Mountains and woods. You ain't seen anybody like that, have you?
No. Oh, no, not at all. I was just a technical question.
I see. Well, that'll be just $1.49 with the tax.
The thing gradually passed through my mind as sheer coincidence. I had a good night's sleep in Pittsburgh. I didn't think about the man all next day until just outside of Zanesville, Ohio, I saw him again. It's a bright, sunshiny afternoon. The peaceful Ohio fields, brown with the autumn stubble, lay greening in the golden light. I was driving slowly, drinking it in, when the road suddenly ended in a detour. In front of the barrier, he was standing. Now, let me explain about his appearance before I go on. I repeat, there was nothing sinister about him. He was as drab as a mud fence. Nor was his attitude menacing. He merely stood there, waiting, almost drooping a little, with a cheap overnight bag in his hand. He looked as though he'd been waiting there for hours. And he looked up. He hailed me. He started to walk forward.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
No, not just now. Sorry.
Going to California?
No, not today. The other way, going to New York. Sorry. After I got the car back on the road again, I felt like a fool. Yet the thought of picking him up, of having him sit beside me, was somehow unbearable. At the same time, I felt more than ever unspeakably alone. Hour after hour went by. Fields, the towns ticked off one by one. The light changed. I knew now that I was going to see him again. And though I dreaded the sight, I caught myself searching the side of the road, waiting for him to appear.
Yeah, what is it? What do you want?
Sell sandwiches and pop here, don't you?
Yeah, we do in the daytime. But we're closed up now for the
I know, but I was wondering if you could possibly have a cup of coffee, black coffee. Just...
No, not this time of night, mister.
My wife's the cook. She's in bed.
No, don't shut the door, please. Listen, just a minute ago... just a minute ago, there was a man standing here right beside the stand, a suspicious-looking man. I don't mean to disturb it. You see, I was driving along when I just happened to look, and there he was.
How's he doing?
Well, nothing.
You've been taking a nip. That's what you've been doing. Now, on your way before I call out Sheriff Oates.
I got into the car again and drove on slowly. I was beginning to hate the car. If I could have found a place to stop, to rest a little. I was in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri now. A few resort places there were closed, only an occasional log cabin, seemingly deserted. That's all that broke the monotony of the wild, wooded landscape. I had seen him at that roadside stand. I knew I'd see him again. Maybe at the next turn of the road. I knew that when I saw him next, I would run him down. But I didn't see him again. I didn't see him until late next afternoon. I stopped a car at a sleepy little junction just across the border into Oklahoma to let a train pass by. When he appeared across the tracks, leaning against a telephone pole. Perfectly airless, dry day. The red clay of Oklahoma was baking under the southwestern sun. Yet there were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. I couldn't stand that. Without thinking, blindly, I started the car across the tracks. He didn't even look up at me. He was staring at the ground. I stepped on the gas hard, turning the wheel sharply toward him. I could hear the train in the distance now, but I didn't care then. Something went wrong with the car. The train was coming closer. I could hear its bell ringing and the cry of its whistle. Still, he stood there. And now I knew that he was beckoning me to my death. Frustrated him that time. The starter worked at last. I managed to back up. When the train passed, he was gone. I was all alone in the hot, dry afternoon. After that, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know who this man was or what he wanted of me. I only knew that from now on, I mustn't let myself alone on the road for 1 minute. Hello there. Like a ride?
Well, what do you think? How far are you going?
Where do you want to go?
Amarillo, Texas.
I'll drive you there.
Gee. You mind if I take off my shoes? My dogs are killing me.
Go right ahead.
Oh. Gee, what a break this is.
Hitchhike much?
Sure. Only it's tough sometimes in these great open spaces to get the brakes.
I should think it would be, though. I'll bet you get a good pickup in a fast car. If you did, you could get places faster than, say, another person in another car, couldn't you?
I don't get you.
Well, take me, for instance. Suppose I'm driving across the country, say, at a nice, steady clip, about 45 miles an hour. Couldn't a girl like you just standing beside the road waiting for Liz beat me to town? Or any town, provided she got picked up every time in a car doing from 65 to 70 miles an hour?
I don't know. What difference does it make?
Oh, no difference. It's just a crazy idea I had sitting here in the car.
Imagine spending your time in a swell car thinking of things like that.
What would you do instead?
What would I do? If I was a good-looking fella like yourself, why, I just enjoy myself every minute of the time. I'd sit back and relax. And if I saw a good-looking girl along the side of the road... Hey, look out!
Did you see him?
See who?
A man standing beside the barbed wire fence.
I didn't see anybody. There wasn't nothing but a bunch of cows and a wire fence.
No?
What'd you think you was doing? trying to run into the barbed
There's a
wire
man
fence?
there, I tell you. A thin gray man with an overnight bag in his hand. And I was trying to run him down.
Run him down? You mean kill him?
Say you didn't see him back there? You sure?
I didn't see a soul. As far as
Watch
that's concerned...
for him the next time and keep watching. Keep your eyes peeled on the road. He'll turn up again. Maybe any minute. There! Look there!
How does this door work? I'm getting out of
See
here.
him that time?
No, I didn't see him that time. And personally, mister, I don't expect never to see him. All I want to do is go on living. I don't see how I will very long, driving with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me, but please don't go.
So if you'll excuse me...
You can't go. Listen, how would you like to go to California? I'll drive you to California.
Seeing pink elephants all the way? No, thanks. Thanks just the same.
Listen, please, just 1 minute, please.
You know what I think you need, big boy? Not a girlfriend. Just a good dose of sleep.
Please.
There. I got it now.
No, you can't go. Please, come
Your
back.
hands off me. Do you hear me? Your hands off...
She ran from me. As though I were a monster. A few minutes later, I saw a passing truck pick her up. I knew then that I was utterly alone. It was in the heart of the great Texas prairies. There wasn't a car on the road after the truck went by. I tried to figure out what to do, how to get hold of myself. If I could find a place to rest, or even if I could sleep right here in the car for a few hours along the side of the road. I was getting my winter overcoat out of the back seat to use as a blanket when I saw him coming toward me, emerging from the herd of moving steer.
Hello?
Maybe I should have spoken to him then. Fought it out then and there. For now, he began to be everywhere. Wherever I stopped, even for a moment, for gas, for oil, for a drink of pop, a cup of coffee, sandwich, he was there. I saw him standing outside the auto camp in Amarillo that night when I dared to slow down. I was sitting near the drinking fountain of a little camping spot just inside the border of New Mexico. He was waiting for me outside the Navajo reservation where I stopped to check my tires. I saw him in Albuquerque when I bought 20 gallons of gas. I was afraid to stop now. I began to drive faster and faster. I was in lunar landscape now. The great arid mesa country of New Mexico. I drove through it with the indifference of a fly crawling over the face of the moon. Now he didn't even wait for me to stop. Unless I drove at 85 miles an hour over those endless roads, he waited for me at every other mile. I'd see his figure, shadowless, flitting before me, still in the same attitude, over the cold, lifeless ground, flitting over dried-up rivers, over broken stones cast up by old glacial upheavals, flitting in that pure and cloudless air. I was beside myself when I finally reached Gallup, New Mexico this morning. There's an auto camp here. Cold, almost deserted this time of year. I went inside and asked if there was a telephone. I had the feeling that if only I could speak to someone familiar, someone I loved, I could pull myself together.
Your call, please.
Long distance.
Long distance, certainly. This is long distance.
I'd like to put in a call to my home in Brooklyn, New York. I'm Ronald Adams. The number is Beechwood 200828.
Certainly, I will try to get it for you. Albuquerque. New York for Gallup. New York. Gallup, New Mexico, calling Beechwood 20828.
I'd read somewhere that love could banish demons. the middle of the morning. I knew Mother would be home. I pictured her tall and white-haired in her crisp house dress, going about her tasks. Be enough, I thought, just to hear the even calmness of her voice.
Will you please deposit $3.85 for the first 3 minutes? When you have deposited $1.50, will you wait until I have collected the money? All right, deposit another $1.50. Will you please deposit the remaining 85 cents? Ready with Brooklyn. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Mrs. Adams' residence.
Hello, Mother?
This is Mrs. Adams' residence. Who is it you wish to speak to, please?
What? Oh, who's this?
This is Mrs. Whinney.
Mrs. Whinney? I don't know any Mrs. Whinney. Is this Beechwood 208-828?
Yes?
Where's my mother? Where's Mrs. Adams?
Mrs. Adams is not at home. She's still in the hospital.
The hospital?
Yes. Who is this calling, please? Is it a member of the family?
Well, what's she in the hospital for?
She's been prostrated for 5 days. Nervous breakdown. But who is this
Nervous
calling?
breakdown? Well, my mother never was nervous.
It's all taken place since the death of her oldest son, Ronald.
Death of her oldest son, Ronald? Hey, what's this? What number is this?
This is Beechwood 20828. It's all been very sudden. He was killed just 6 days ago in an automobile accident on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir.
And so I'm sitting here in this deserted auto camp in Gallup, New Mexico. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get hold of myself. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy. Outside, it's night. The vast, soulless night of New Mexico. 1 million stars are in the sky. Ahead of me stretch 1,000 miles of empty mesa. Mountains, prairies, desert. Somewhere among them, he's waiting for me. Somewhere I shall know who he is and who I am.
So ends The Hitchhiker, and to Orson Welles our considerable thanks for his playing of the title role. Mr. Welles.
Help wanted. Men, women, and children. Uncle Sam doesn't ask plain, ordinary, hard-working citizens like you to give him anything. All he asks, all this he does ask very seriously and very urgently, is that you loan him 10 cents out of every dollar you make. That's all there is to it. Lend Uncle Sam a dime to win this war. And he'll pay you back with interest when he's won it. Sign up for this simple savings plan today, and when victory comes, you will have war bonds in your pockets instead of Axis bonds on your wrists.
Suspense will be heard again 2 weeks from tonight. Next Wednesday night, September 9th, the Columbia Broadcasting System will present over many of these stations at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Wartime an address by W. Averill Harriman, the United States Lend-Lease Administrator in London. Suspense is produced and directed by William Spear. John Dietz was our guest director this evening. Tonight's radio drama was written by Lucille Fletcher. The original score was by Bernard Herrmann. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you for listening to When Radio Ruled Spooky Halloween Special 2022. This has been a Before TV production, copyright 2022. Have yourself a Halloween full of horror. And a word of advice, if you go out on Halloween, make sure your companions don't run as fast as you do, just in case you're chased by zombies.
Kneel down and pray. Harker, the stake of wood over his heart. Be not afraid, Harker. Do not look into his eyes. The hammer. Now, Harker, strike. Strike!
Flesh of my flesh. Guilt of my guilt. Death of my death. Speak and be manifest in the instant of your master's peril. Elements of darkness, rain, evil wind, mist, and mold, and tempest.
Right!
Somehow I can hear him speaking behind his eyes.
Claw, wing, tooth, scale, tissue of flesh, death of my death. Dead and undead. The hand of the living is over your master. Console him, my children. This instant is no longer than the space between two heartbeats. But the night is not here, and I am lonely. Come to your master, my children. Beguile him now in the instant of his peril. Beguile him with the sound of your names. Claw, wing, tooth, scale, tissue of flesh.
Strike, Harker, strike!
There is one very dear to me who has not answered. My love, Mina. There is less than a minute between me and the night. You must speak for me. You must speak with my heart.
Give them to me! Jonathan, give them to me! The stake of wood and the hammer!
I shall never forget that moment. The look on poor Mina's face as she stood there, the angry scar standing out on her throat, her eyes like living coals in the last red of the sunset. She had torn the stake and the hammer out of my hands with the strength of an enemy.
Mina, do you know what you've done, woman? You know what you've done to us? You've released him, the evilest fiend. Look!
The sun! As we looked down at Dracula, the eyes saw the sinking sun, and the hate in them turned to triumph.
Flesh of my flesh, come to me, my love. Come into the night and the darkness. You have served me well, my love. My bride.